Hello and welcome to this video. This is going to be the last video in the Knife Week, National Knife Week, that I've just kind of adopted, leading on from National Knife Day on the 24th of August. I wasn't planning on doing a video for today, it being Sunday, but I've had a couple of requests and YouTube, it's got you in it for a reason. It's about you. It's not about me. It's not about the YouTubers as individuals as such. It's more about you. It's kind of like your television, your content. It's what you want to see. So of course I'll uphold that, and so I've done an extra video on the Sunday about Victorinox. I've had a request by Newland Tiger 75, and then most recently by Thing Yi 1118. Bit of a shout out there to those two who have requested I go through my whole Victorinox knife collection. What I'm going to do first is give you a little bit of history. If you don't already know, or if you've gone on to if you looked at some Victorinox information already, been on their website and things, just skip the next 2 or 3 minutes, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of history and things. So Victorinox, they are a company. They make multi-tools. They now license their logo onto watches and bags and even fragrances. They're based in a town of Ibach in the canton of Schwyz, and that's in Switzerland. I do hope I pronounced those places correctly. I did try. So they're based there, which is in Europe, and the company was founded in 1884. I think I have a picture of the chap in here. Look at him. Oh, doesn't he look like a nice fellow? And that there is Carl Elsener. Carl Elsener. So founded in 1884, and since 1891 they've been delivering knives to the Swiss Army, hence Swiss Army knife. Their emblem is a cross and a shield, and has been used since 1909. So for 25 years it has been they didn't have the emblem there. Now, how did they come across the name? Well, the mother of the founder, Carl Elsner, died, and he named the company after her, Victoria. So the company was called Victoria for quite a while, and then in 1921 they introduced stainless steel into their products, and the French term for stainless steel is acier inoxydable. I hope I've pronounced that right. So in there you've got inox or inox, and of course he just introduced Victoria with inox, Victorinox. There you go. And not a lot of people know this, but in 2005 they acquired Wenger or Wenger, however you prefer, and Victorinox actually announced to keep both brands intact. It wasn't a complete huge takeover. None of the Wenger products became mainly Victorinox, but they acquired them. Another bit of information you might not know is that they also make the bayonet for the Swiss STG-90 assault rifle, or you may have seen it called the SG-550 or the SG-50, but there we go, they make the bayonet for that. Now I'm going to talk about my first ever Victorinox multi-tool penknife, which was this one. And with a lot of research and things, because they don't make this anymore, I've actually found out that this is the Swiss Champion. Not the Champ, or the Swiss Champ, just the Champion. And I've actually found out that it was their first flagship model. Well, not their first, but it was their flagship model up until 1986. and then the Swiss Champ was introduced. So the difference is mainly that it doesn't have the pliers. It has the scissors, it has the Phillips screwdriver there, and I've had this since I was a child, since I was a kid, and the scales became chipped, cracked. I had a long crack down there. They'd lost their finish, their shine. They were just horrible. Almost unusable, to be honest. I was just thinking of keeping the scales off and just using it without the scales. What I did is I sent it to the customer services in the UK. I think they're based Leicester way. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to have a look if you need any information on that. But sent it off. I can't remember whether I put money in there or not. Probably not. But either way, they sent it back with brand new scales, and it smelled a little bit like lemon, so they probably cleaned the stainless steel as well, which is excellent. It's a testament to you buying a penknife and it lasting all your life, and possibly passing it on to your children or grandchildren. That is a testament to this company. You know, founded in 1884. There's a reason why they're still around. A recommendation that I have with them as well is, obviously they've been around since 1884. They've never fired or made anybody redundant through anything to do with the economy. All right, and the reason how they do that is in times of profit and things, they actually set aside a fair bit of money so that they can handle any downturn. And I think that's an incredible foresight for a company to do that. A lot of companies will work very efficiently in getting staff in short term and getting rid of them, and then and that kind of rotation. Whereas Victorinox, they don't do that. They obviously budget, and they look into the future in regards to their employees. Anyway, enough about the fluff. So this is the Victorinox Champion. I really do like it. It's my favourite, not because of the tools and the functions, but just because of the history that I have with this. And you may well have a Victorinox that you've had for a long time, and it might be your favourite as well. But it has many useful tools. It has the magnifying glass in, with the grey rather than the clear colour that you see now. The scissors, I bought a new spring for the scissors a year or two ago, and the scissors are like new. You can sharpen them on the sharp maker. You can sharpen the steel on the sharp maker. I wouldn't try and sharpen the saw on the sharp maker though. It hasn't got the right kind of shapes to it for you to do that. The blades, you can get them very sharp. They don't hold an edge for very long, but you can sharpen them. They're quite a soft steel, and I've never had any rust problems with a Victorinox ever. But there you go, Victorinox Switzerland stainless steel. Stainless Rost Fry. Officer Swiss. And I also upgraded it by buying a few of these. It's probably a really good thing to do. Some of the penknives now have a little hole here where you can put a pin, so that gives you an extra function. I think I bought new toothpicks and tweezers for it, because I think mine came out. But still one of my favourites, just because of my personal history with that one. The upgraded version, the one that's out at the moment, that's been around since 1986 I suppose, is the Swiss Champ, and this is a very popular model. This is a leather case. If you've never seen a Victorinox leather case, if you've got the opportunity to see somebody's in real life or in a shop, do it, because they are real leather. They're really well made. You can have them with the Velcro, and I think sometimes you can have them with the traditional button, but they just fit the tools in very well, very snugly. And I'll always remember one of my family members having a Victorinox leather case on his belt and thinking, is there nothing that this man cannot do? Honestly. But anyway, this is the replacement to it, I suppose, and you do get this really useful, look how thick they are, very thick, easy to use tweezers. Of course they're not Leatherman, but after all, look at the size of it. It's just a little multi-tool. It's not going to be you're not going to be changing huge bolts and things with it, but it is useful if you want to pick things up and whatnot. As you can see, this is the difference I mentioned with the magnifying glass. It's got the clear plastic around it now, and yeah, it has the fish hook, has the file, but that's more or less very similar. Has the hook for papers and things. Well, here in Europe you have your papers and they've got twine, or they've got the plastic with them. You do also get a pen. As you can see, there's a kind of a third tool and it's sometimes difficult to get out because it's not completely flat. As you can see, there's a shorter side and a longer side to get that pen out, but it is a ballpoint pen, so that's useful. And I think it is usable. It's usable for like an emergency or something. Anyway, so that's the Victorinox Swiss Champ. That's a heavy duty. I really like that one. I'll just put there. I don't have a huge Victorinox collection, so I don't understand why people have asked me to do this, but they're obviously interested in Victorinox, and I really love Victorinox anyway. So I don't have a huge collection, but this is just my collection. I think I'll talk about this one. This is the Victorinox Solo. Don't really know why I bought this. I just thought I'd like a Victorinox that was just a knife, and what a knife it is. I mean, it's quite sharp, but it's just a knife with handle scales. It's so lightweight, it's unbelievable. Has a lanyard hole, but that is UK legal to carry. That's how long you can get away with. All right, but it might be difficult to explain. There we go. So it's a neat pen knife. You can pick one of these for £10, but and that's only if you want a knife on your Victorinox. So that's that one. We have this one. Now, this one here is my favourite of all of them. Function wise, it's called a Victorinox Huntsmen, and I believe that this is probably the best well-rounded pen knife. It's not too heavy, and it has all of the tools you could possibly need, and none of the ones that you don't. I would have liked the pliers in there as well, but it certainly beats a cadet if you had to pick one to take with you. Tell you why. It's got the small blade, it's got the large blade, it's got the saw, it's got the scissors, it's got the bottle opener and can opener, always useful. It's got the tweezers, the lanyard ring, split ring, the toothpick, the bottle opener, wine opener, and the corkscrew, and the small screwdriver, and it has a pin. There's not much this doesn't have. It has the paper holder carrier, and I think this is a reamer. Yeah, good. Reamer or hole punch. There you go. So that, to me, if I was going to pick one of these in my collection in a hurry, or just instead of a dedicated knife, folding knife, it would be this one. I just take this one because it's not too heavy and it's got an awful lot of tools. And looking at a few of the videos, because I know in America you guys have MacGyver, and looking at a few of his videos, I think he carried Huntsman an awful lot of the time. He really did. But then again, he did use it. He threw it with the knife, and it stuck into things. And I think you'd have to throw that with some force, and I don't think you could really do that very successfully with a Swiss champ, because it would just hit and then just fall because it weighs so much. But Huntsman could just get away with doing that. Anyway, I'm not obviously not encouraging people to throw their penknives. So that's a Huntsman. This one is oh, by the way, yeah, the scale type for these is it's called a Silvertech. It's one of their newest type of scales. If you getting a bit bored of the red or the black or the blue or the camo or the jelly colours, you know, the semi-transparent reds and blues and blacks, well, I think they call it onyx. This is a Silvertech. It hasn't got silver in it or anything like that. It's just more see-through than the jellies, I suppose. Anyway, so this is the Spartan, and it's very similar to the Huntsman, but it doesn't have the saw, it doesn't have the scissors. It's literally two blades, can open a bottle opener, the corkscrew, the reamer, and that's about it. I don't carry this one or use this one as much just because of the scissors. I find the scissors very useful, and the saw can be quite useful. But that is a Victorinox Spartan that I have. This one here is my largest one. Well, yeah, longest. And this isn't legal to carry, unfortunately. I wish it was, I really do. But some people like this, some people don't like this. But this is the Victorinox Soldier. Now, they had a Victorinox Soldier from 1969, I think, or in the 60s, up until 2008. And this is the knife that replaced it. So this is the knife that Victorinox or the Swiss Army give to their soldiers now. So when you join or whatnot, you get issued this. Whether you're going to use it or not is here nor there, but this is what they issue them with now. It's a big upgrade. It is a lot more functional. For instance, you've got an ambidextrous one-handed opening knife that is very reflective, as I've just found out, but it's very interesting because it's got this plain edge, and then it has these serrations, and normally you'd have the serrations down at the bottom closer to the handle. So they have done it that way. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. The serrations are so well made that they're very easy to sharpen on a sharp maker or a rod because of their concave kind of way that they've made them. And also, the serrations are as sharp as that plain edge, so I don't think it's an issue at all. And sometimes it may well be an issue, but this one, it isn't. And if we go to the reverse side, as you can see, it's chisel ground. So it is only ground on one side. That's the plain edge and the serrations. So that may affect your. That should mean that it's easier to sharpen because you'd only need you don't need to go on the rods or sharpening stone or whatever on one side, and then you may just go on the other side just to cut the burr off that's developed. Anyway, this says 2009, so this was obviously made in 2009. It's a locking knife, so that's hence why I said it's not legal to carry. It's a liner lock, but it's different because normally you'd push away from you for a liner lock, but this one you actually have to pull towards you. So in theory, it's kind of left-handed in a way. I'm not sure whether statistically more people are left-handed in Switzerland. I'm not sure, but it just seems counterintuitive that would be pushed that way, unless they really want you to close and lock this knife using both hands. Anyway, that's the main blade on that one. Really strange that here, see, you've got a lock for the bottle opener. I don't know how hard they put their caps on their bottles in Switzerland, but Maybe if ice has got in, maybe it's... Nah, I'm just kidding. But still, there is a lock for the can opener. And you may think, oh, well, that's completely useless. But actually, if you see the size, the thickness of that can opener, sorry, the bottle opener, that's actually a bit of a wedge. So you can use that as, you know, to pry. Since it's got that lock, that won't really move anywhere. So that's the whole reason for that lock, is so you can use it to pry better, and it's quite thick. The can opener though is exactly the same size as on a normal Victorinox. That's and then one of my favourite things is this. Look how long this is. This huge saw, huge, really long, really useful, and yeah, they've got that on there. And on the back, instead of corkscrew, you can't have your soldiers drinking too much wine, so you've got a thick duty Phillips screwdriver. Now, I have used this a few times, and I haven't found it as effective, as kind of efficient as one of these on the end, and that's because with this one in the middle, you have to do that motion, and it's sometimes difficult to get much purchase. Whereas here, you can really, if you see where I'm going with this, I think it's much better design on the end rather than just poking out in the middle. That's just from my experience though. And then it's also got the reamer. Surprised I've got any fingernails left after doing all this, but without the hole, so you can't really sew yourself up, unfortunately. But anyway, the handles are nice, kind of grippy. Yeah, it's decent, but you can't really carry it here. Well, not legally anyway, without a good reason. So that's the new Victorinox Soldier. I'll show you the old Soldier, which you can no longer buy. If you can buy it, congratulations, because it's very rare now, and you're probably looking at Fleabay or something like that. But this is the old one. As you can see, the difference. Yeah, there's just no difference. I really like this one though, because the shield is different. The shield looks more like a Wenger mark, doesn't it, rather than Victorinox, but this is a Victorinox, and I carried this one a lot. The reamer is evil, very evil, but useful for getting stones out your shoes and bottoms of your shoes and things like that. The blade is just thick, useful. There you go, Victorinox Switzerland. So, yep. And it's got bottle opener, can opener, and nothing on the back. But this is with Alox or Alox handle scales. I love the handle scales. I love the Alox handle scales. So that's the Soldier, and that one was made in, I think that one was made in 2008. So that's probably one of the last runs of that one. This is, if you can't get the Soldier anymore, this is basically the Soldier, but with a couple of features. So you probably would like to get this one instead. This has got a saw on it instead, and it's got the main blade, it's got that evil reamer, no differences there, and it's got the split ring, and it's got a little engraving patch there. So it's basically a Soldier, but a little bit heavier, and you've got the saw. So I like that one as well. I like both of them. I like all of them, but there we go. And then finally, like I said, it's a small collection. Sorry that this video's 25 minutes, half an hour, but I also have these little Victorinox SDs, classic SDs, and the difference between the Alox, because you can get them in different colours, is just the name engraving plate, which the normal ones don't have, and the tweezers and the toothpick. But that's pretty much it. They've both got the same blades, same scissors, those kind of things. But there's those two, and then I have two more, which I'll just get now. Okay then, thank you for your patience. I just had to get this off the keychain. This is the one I carry on my keychain. It is it's a Victorinox Silvertech Signature Light. That's Light, L-I-T-E. Main reason, the little shield, you press it, you get a nice LED. It's useful for, ironically, finding your keys in the dark, or finding the keyhole, among other things, for where you're walking maybe. Obviously it's no replacement for a strong LED purpose-built flashlight, but it can be useful. And the signature obviously stands, you push this forward and out pops a little ballpoint pen. And other than that, it has the same blade and the scissors and things on a normal classic. It just doesn't, it forfeits the light and the pen for the tweezers and the toothpick. A good forfeit in my opinion. That's why it's on my keychain. Although I have dedicated tweezers, a light and a pen on my keychain, I still like carrying this, and I still would depend on it. And it costs a fair bit as well, so obviously I want to use it as much as possible, and I have used it for 3 or 4 years now, so that's another SD sized Victorinox. And the final Victorinox in my collection isn't one of these penknife shaped things, it's one of these, and I do keep this in my wallet. And yes, you could probably say that that's a fixed blade, but I don't know. What would you say? Because it is a blade, and it doesn't fold, but it does go in there. And hey, you make up your mind about that. But I've always carried it. I always will. I don't see any issues with that really, to be honest. But it's got a lot of tools: tweezers, the magnifying glass, a pen. So in theory I carry 3 pens on my keychain, on me really. It's got a pin, very useful. It's got a nice pair of scissors on there. So I was just looking through it through the camera. It's got this LED, but a bit rubbish really. I mean, it looks bright there, but it's not as bright as it seems. And then it's got this tool which I've used a few times to tighten up drawer screws and things. It actually is quite useful. It's quite decent. And it's got your centimetres and your inches on the back. I think that's everything on it. Yeah. So that's another Victorinox that I have in my collection. So anyway, sorry that the video's been so long, but and it mainly because I waffled a bit for a few minutes at the start. But I thought that information at the start was quite useful. Not a lot of people know it. This was my Victorinox collection. I will be looking to add more. I really like the look of their orange coloured knives, similar to this. I do like their rescue knives, the emergency one that kind of glows in the dark. I really like the look of that, with the glass cutter and glass breaker and things. But obviously any new knife or tool that I add to my collection, I'll always try and do an unboxing or a video review. So I'll never get a Victorinox and you won't kind of not know about it. I'll always do a review for you people. And but thank you for joining me for today. If you've got a Victorinox or favourite Victorinox, please do put it in the comments, make a video response, get your voice out there. And if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to finger bang that thumbs up button. And thanks for watching again. Take care.